Welcome. You have successfully checked into your abundance timeline.
Hey. All right. Welcome to today's podcast. Listen, I want to talk to you about something that is actually happening in the manifestation and coaching space right now. Because I feel like there's a little bit of noise. There's a lot of women jumping in, a lot of content, a lot of coaches. And it kind of looks, a little saturated on the surface. But I want to be real with you what it actually takes to win in this space right now, because I know that there's a lot of women that kind of want to jump into it, but think their window's kind of closed, and it absolutely hasn't. Right. So I want to talk about what it actually takes to win in this space, because 3 years ago, right, is not what was working 3 years ago is literally not what is working today. And, there's women that are struggling and they're posting every day and they're hearing crickets, and, they've launched a program, nobody's bought, right? And if you've been somebody who's been, coaching for, I don't know, consistently 2 years, right, but still hasn't been able to crack that consistent coaching income, I want to tell you, it's not because that the industry is too full, right? It is because they are missing 2 things. And I'm going to tell you those 2 things on today's podcast. So if you are new here, my name is Karyn Medeiros. I am your host of the Rich Girl Podcast. I am an award-winning manifestation coach, and I am a 2-time best-selling author of Manifest That Shit and Manifest Like a Badass. Okay, so let's get into it. So I want to talk about what's kind of really happening in this space, right? Because I think you can agree that the manifestation space has kind of exploded, right? Over the last little bit, everyone saw it. Law of attraction kind of went mainstream, and the manifestation girlies, as I call them, took over TikTok. And then suddenly everyone is journaling, everyone is scripting. Everyone's talking about, I don't know, the 3-6-9 method, whatever that was back then, right? And so with that explosion of everyone kind of talking about all of this, a flood of coaches came, right? So, women who had learned something, got a result, and then immediately started teaching it, which on one hand is great, right? Like, more women teaching this stuff is not the bad thing at all. Years and years ago, one of my very first coaches, he taught me ILT, right? Invest, learn, and teach. He's like, if you invest in something and then you learn something, go and teach it, right? So it's not that, that everybody is teaching this stuff is a bad thing. But what happened is that everyone who's teaching kind of so many different things and just something that they learned, people stopped being able to tell who actually knew what they were talking about. And then for the people who were just repeating what they heard somewhere else. And so the trust got a little bit harder to build, and people got more skeptical because the people that were just kind of teaching what they had heard hadn't really went through and had the actual results, right? And then the coaches who were just kind of winging it with that borrowed content started to feel it, right? So the coaches that are winning right now are not the ones that have the most followers on TikTok or Instagram, right? They are the ones who have 2 things that can't be fake. They have a real method, and they have a real community behind them. Those are the 2 things. So here's what I mean by a real method. The method is not like, oh, I teach manifestation and mindset. It is a specific framework that is yours, that it has your fingerprints all over it, or it is a framework that you follow and that you follow yourself and that you're able to teach. It produces a predictable result for the women who actually go through it. That is a framework. So when you have a real method that you can point people to, right? Guess what happens? They explain that framework to their friends. They can say, oh, I work with Karyn. She teaches the rich girl habits, right? And here's what it did for me. Sorry, I just had a brain fart. Here's Karyn. She teaches the rich girl habits. Here's what it did for me, right? That word of mouth is everything, but it only happens when what you teach is specific enough to be remembered and real enough to create results. So the coaches who are struggling right now are teaching concepts. The coaches who are winning are teaching systems. So my system is the rich girl habits, right? It is 12 habits that when you build them into your life one at a time in the right order, it completely transforms your life. How you think about money, how you receive, how you show up, who you become. And at the end of those habits, you should be living your rich girl life. That is the purpose and the system of the rich girl habits. That is the outcome, right? But every single habit has been lived by me first. I have lived it, I have tested it, I have refined it, I have run it through thousands of women. And my results are real because the system is real. I have on my phone, I have hundreds and hundreds of screenshots of women telling me how whatever habit they did worked and had some sort of transformation, right? So you may have something like that inside you too. It just may not be named yet. It might not have a package on it yet. But if you have a real transformation and you've helped other women get results, then there has to be some sort of method in there. It just needs to be pulled out and kind of given it a shape, right? The second thing the women who are winning has is a community behind them. So not a Facebook group that you kind of post in for the first 2 weeks and then go quiet. Like that's not a community. I'm talking about a real room where women show up, women get results, women who talk about it, women who bring other women to it, women who lift each other up. Now, and it doesn't have to be like a literal room, like a virtual room is great for a community, right? I feel that's one of the things that most coaches underestimate is until they see what it does for their business. Community is like, it's okay. Community is your growth engine. When you have a real community, 3 things happen. Your clients get better results because they're not doing the work alone. Better results means what? Better testimonials for you. And what does better testimonials for you mean? It means easier sales, right? And most people skip the community because one, they think it's too much work, or they think, oh, building the community is slow, right? They want thousands of people in this community all at once. No, that's not how it works, right? It's the fastest thing. Even if you think it's slow, it is the fastest thing that you will ever do for your business if you do it right. Because a real community creates belonging. And belonging is actually one of the most powerful things that you can actually sell at this moment. Not information. People can get information anywhere. They have ChatGPT, they have AI, they have Google, they have YouTube. Like they can get information anywhere, but they can't get belonging anywhere. They can't get a room of women who get it, who see it, who are on the same path of them. So that's why when you create it, you create something people do not want to leave. So if you're already in the coaching space and you're maybe a little bit stuck, right? I don't want you to think that you're stuck because you're not good enough. That's a lot of the time what I hear. I'm not worthy of this. I'm not good enough. I don't know enough. You're probably just stuck because of 2 things. The 2 things is missing. Your method may be not specific enough it may not be specific enough right? The way that you teach it, or maybe your community is not strong enough. Maybe both, right? And I understand you're like, great. That sounds okay. But I want a marketing strategy. I want a better funnel. Like, I just want you to tell me, like, okay, Karyn, what platform am I supposed to be on? Am I supposed to be on TikTok? Am I supposed to be on Instagram? Right? But the marketing is not the problem. You can have the best content in the world, but if women can't clearly articulate what you do and get results from, they will not buy, nor will they stay. They don't even know what it is that you're selling. So you need to get really specific on your method, right? If you have a method, great. Give it a name, give it steps, give it language that is yours. I talk about the rich girl habits. That is my method. Or the spark and surrender method. That is my method. I can talk about those methods all day long because they give actual outcomes. So get specific about your method, give it a name, give it steps, and then build a room around that method, right? Where women feel like they belong. I'm telling you, that will change everything, those two things. So there you go. That's it. So if you are thinking about starting, right, starting becoming a manifestation coach, a mindset coach, a wealth identity coach, just kind of teaching this, right? And if you've been on the fence about coaching in your space, the market is not too full, even though you see everybody talking about it. There is still so much massive room for you, for women who have this real transformation in a real method and the willingness to show up consistently to show women that I think this is a movement. Like this is a movement, right? The market does not need another generic manifestation coach, right? What it needs is it needs you. It needs your story. It needs a specific way of seeing this work, right? If you went through this transformation, the thing that happened to you that changed everything, and you know now how to help other women create it, right? That's what you want to do. That's the fastest way to build it. But we don't do it alone, right? I want you to plug into something that already has the infrastructure, the curriculum, the community, that's the support. I want you to stand on a foundation that is already proven instead of starting from scratch and then figuring out the hard way. And that is why I build the Rich Girl Network, because that's what the Rich Girl Network does. It gives you the infrastructure, it gives you the curriculum, it gives you the community, it gives you the support, right? It gives you all of that, which is already built inside. The Rich Girl Habits curriculum is already done. So you get the method, you get to teach the method. 12 habits, fully built, proven, right? Women inside are already getting results that are already changing their lives, changing their business. If you are a coach already, but you want to maybe stop winging it, you want to step up, you want to add something into your coaching, right? Really build something, then this is the room. The Rich Girl Network is the room for you. Manifestation coaching space is not crowded at all. It is crowded for coaches who just want to coach generic shit around manifestation or mindset, right? But those women are going to continue to struggle no matter how much content they post at some point, right? But if you want to become a coach, you are already a coach and you're willing to get specific, right? Someone who wants to build something real, somebody who is willing to show up as the authority, right? Because you have all of that to back you up. You now have the room, you have the curriculum, you have the method, right? There are so many women out there right now looking for exactly what you have or what you could have. So I need you to stop waiting to feel ready, because that is the biggest killer right there. Get the method, build the room, and show up. That is how you win in this space right now. So if you have more, or if you have any questions on the Rich Girl Network, you want to get into that room, you want to build the room, and you want to stand on it with a proven network or a proven foundation that I have already built, I will put in the show notes a way to get more information on it to see if you are a good fit, because not everybody is a good fit for my Rich Girl Network. I personally certify you as a Rich Girl coach, and then you are free to I help you build your coaching business. Actually, I literally give you a fully built coaching business in manifestation, mindset, and wealth identity. And then I'm here to support you along the way of building it to $10,000 months within your first year. So, yay! All right. Thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate you, and I will see you next week. Ciao.